Good morning, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Bree. Today is going to be a 24-hour readathon. I am part of Kayla from Books and Lala's channel membership, and she is doing a weekend readathon where you're supposed to try to read backlist books. It's called Out of Season Readathon. So I'm going to try to participate in that and get to some books that I've been meaning to get to for a while. But first, I have to tell you about this drink because I ordered it because I wanted to feel in the fall mood and I wanted to try, and I looked at what that you could add at Starbucks, and so they had this apple brown sugar syrup. So I added 2 pumps. I think next time I would do 1 pump, and it's really good. It tastes like, I don't know, it tastes a lot like brown sugar. You don't really get as much of the apple, but it tastes like fall in a cup, even though it's iced. But I think it would be good hot too as well. I just really wanted something iced. It's really good. I'm a fan. So I had to tell you about that. Next, we're going to talk through my TBR, rough TBR. I'm a mood reader, as I've said many times, so I think just keeping it kind of open for interpretation is good for me. But here's the books I kind of think I want to get to. So the first book, this actually started, so today's Saturday, this started yesterday. So I did read yesterday, but I wasn't feeling that well, so I didn't record anything. But I joined her reading sprints. I did start Alatsue, and that is by Darcy Little Badger. This has been something that, while I haven't owned it, it is a backlist for me because I've had it on my want to read for like years. I think at least 3-ish years, and I just never get to picking it up. And I saw it was available at the library, and I think too, I always thought it had to do with like winter for some reason. And I learned that the cover is actually her dog, like a ghost dog. And I thought that's why I thought it was winter, but it's actually a dog. So this is actually a really good fall read, I think, because it's got ghost dogs. And I got 10% in, and it's basically about this girl who, she lives somewhere in Texas, I'm not exactly sure, but her family is Lippin, and they are in this like small community, and she has a ghost dog because she has like a gift of bringing kind of things back to life, but she doesn't ever bring people back, but she's like brought her dog back, and her dog is a ghost that goes around with her. It starts where her dog starts acting really weird, and she knows that the last time her dog acted this way was when her grandfather was really ill, and so she gets really scared that something's happened, and her parents are at a movie theater, so she rides her bike with her dog all the way there to check on them. And when she gets there, she finds out that her uncle has been in an accident and is not going to pull through. And she wakes up the next day and he has indeed passed away. And she gets a weird dream from him in the middle of the night saying that he was actually murdered, and she needs help figure out what happened. So I didn't realize too it would have such a mystery component to it. So I'm really, really liking it. From the first page, I just already get good vibes from it. I know that this is probably going to be a story I'm going to like. I've thought that for a long time, which is why I kept wanting to read it, but I just put it off, and it's one of those books that you put off for so long, and then I'm hoping it's actually going to be a 5-star, and I'm going to wonder why I put it off for so long. So that's Alatsue. That's the first read I'm going to continue with. And then I had started also in the reading sprints The 10th Girl by Sarah Faring. This is set in South America, and it's following a lot of different perspectives, but mainly this one girl who has run away. She's, I think, like supposed to be 20... She's 18, but she's telling everyone she's 21. And she goes to this school that has these girls and is kind of way up in a cliffside, far away, remote. And she's running away from something, so she wants to go there and teach. And then there's another girl, Yessie, and she's also there for reasons we don't know. And I don't think we've gotten her perspective, but we might. She's also a teacher. And then we get like the perspective of a ghost who is haunting the place. And it's really interesting because they died in like 2020, but are able as a ghost to have like travel through time. Like time isn't the same for them. So they were actually back in 1978 where Mavi and Yessie are, but they died like in 2020. So I feel like that's really interesting with the time jumps. So I think I was like not even 100 pages in, like maybe 50 pages, I want to say. So we'll see. This has definitely got a spooky, haunted school vibe, which is perfect for spooky season. So I want to get to this, and this has been on my TBR for probably like a year, so it is definitely a backlist book for me. And then I know this isn't really a backlist book, but it kind of is in my head because I've been meaning to read it all year, and that is The House with Good Bones by T.K. Fisher, because this came out in January and I've been really wanting to get to it. So we'll see if I get to this one, because this one's pretty long. So that might be a little too ambitious, but those are my books. For sure I'm going to read Alatsue. Will not stay up. For sure I'm going to read Alatsue and finish that because I'm just loving it, enthralled. So that's that. And I think I want to decorate for Halloween, for fall, because I have gotten a few things that I put around, but I want to pull the stuff down this weekend and actually decorate because it's time. I keep saying I'm going to and then I don't for whatever reason. So this is the weekend. I'm feeling festive. I got my festive drink. We're going to pull some stuff down and we're going to decorate. And I'll show you everything that I got as well this year and show you what I do to decorate. So that's the plan. Let's get into the vlog. Hello, I am going to try to get on sprints because Kayla has sprints scheduled at 1, so I'm going to do that so I can get through more of Alatsue, but I did read about maybe 100 more pages and I'm really enjoying it. It's very interesting because it's definitely I guess you would call it kind of an urban fantasy feel, where there's people who are vampires, there are ghosts, and magic is kind of just like a well-known thing. There's like fairy portals. Sorry, I'm trying to log in to my computer. So yeah, so it's a really interesting world building scenario and I am really enjoying it. And it's kind of part fantasy, part mystery. So it's really just the perfect combination of things I enjoy. Sprints have just started, so I'm going to continue reading, but I wanted to give a little update and say that I'm really liking it.
You tell me you're scared. You tell me you're weak. But I know you're stronger than what you think. And I know it's hard. Yeah, I know it's rough, but we'll make it through. And I'll back you up. Wherever you're going, I'm going to. I'll follow you through the black and the blue. Whatever the mountain, we'll climb to the next Honey, I'm with you through life and to death.
Hello, I'm currently watching Kayla's sprints for the readathon, but I wanted to pop in and update on Let's Way. So I'm 30% in and I'm really liking it. It's very interesting how the world is built. It's got kind of like an urban fantasy feel. There's vampires and werewolves and things like that. So that's really interesting. And then it's very much weaved in with the different stories that they tell about their ancestors. And so we're hearing a lot from our main character Ellie about her sixth great grandmother who did a lot of very impressive things. And so whenever she's kind of in a moment of need, she thinks back to what her sixth great grandmother has done and stories she's done to kind of help her feel more strong and powerful and get through whatever she's working through. And we just got to her uncle's house where he has passed away, and I think mystery's really starting to pick up right now, but I'm really enjoying it. I really like the friendship between Ellie and what's his name? I want to say it's Lucas, but that doesn't sound right to me. Maybe his name was Jake. I don't know. It's not coming to me. But they are really cute together, and just their back and forth and how they help each other is really cool. And there's also like fairy portals in here. I know that's side tangent, but it's just a very interesting kind of world that it's set in, and it's in Texas, and they were, I think, more northern Texas, and now they've gone more south Texas because that's where her uncle lived. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. I think it blends things I really love. I didn't realize it was going to be so fantasy mystery focused, but those are just things that I really, really love. And so yeah, I'm just really liking it, and I enjoy our main character Ellie. I think she's a really good character to follow, and just excited to see more about it. It says I have like 3 hours to go, and I just feel like I'm having a great time. I really wish I hadn't put this off for so long because it's definitely a book that I would enjoy, and so I will probably be picking it up after I read unless something went horribly wrong and I don't like it, but right now I'm loving it and I definitely want to have it in my collection, and it's a really good fall type read. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the time. I probably am going to try to sit down and just finish this in one sitting because it is a readathon, so I'm trying to read a lot, but I'm not going to push myself too hard. I just hope to finish this and maybe one other book this readathon. So yeah, I'm going to get back to the sprints, but I just wanted to give you a little update. Oh, I hope my makeup's not everywhere. I just finished Let's Way. That ending. Oh my gosh. Last like 3 chapters, I'm just bawling my eyes out. It was so good. I think I have to give it 5 stars. It was perfect. I loved it so much. It had, sorry if you can hear clacking, that's my husband on his video game. So where was I? I really enjoyed the whole mystery of it. It was not very much like, it was not a mystery where you have to guess kind of who did it or anything like that. It's more like you already kind of know, but you're just trying to see the journey to get the bad person. And I've really enjoyed it. I liked the blend of mystery and urban fantasy. It just was so seamless the way this world worked with the different magic that's around and creatures and stuff, and like the kind of old stories that are passed down and how they are real and weaved into the whole story itself. I thought was really, really good. And it is like a younger YA. I would still say it's YA, but it reads a little closer to middle grade. I really loved Latsway and Jay's friendship. I think I said that in the last clip. But throughout the whole thing, it was so great to see just a true friendship. There's no romance or anything like that. It's just these two friends, and just the way that they support each other and come together. I loved it. And I loved in their like times of danger, the little like quips and jokes they have back and forth. It just made me laugh multiple times, and I really have no complaints. Also, Kirby the ghost dog, just my favorite throughout the whole book. I love Kirby with all my heart. I just wish I had gotten to it sooner because it was so good. Like, I just don't know why I kept putting off reading it, and I'm so happy I did. It was the perfect book to read for this readathon. It was great to read in the fall time because of the spookiness of it. It's not super spooky, but like the ghosts and monsters and stuff, it feels very fall to me. I think there was like a lot of commentary on you know, being Indigenous in the US and the history of that and everything. I also really enjoyed the way stories that have been passed down are woven into the narrative. So you just get a lot of those like backstories of her ancestors. I just love the way that that was woven into the story. I thought it was so well done. You were just sitting there like getting the story told to you in such a way that it's just, it was really beautiful. So I absolutely loved it. I have A Snake Falls to Earth, which is by Darcy Little Badger, and I haven't picked that up, so now that's going to be a higher priority because I really, really loved it. I think that there's something about certain books that intimidate me, and for some reason I thought Alatsaway was going to be hard to follow, and I don't know why. So now I'm like, I need to read more, but I'm on a book hangover, I think. It's like thinking about picking anything else up. I don't want to do it. So I think what I'm gonna do is I've been wanting to rearrange my book room because it's just gotten a little out of hand and I don't like how things are organized. So I think I'm going to record a video doing that, and I'll show you some of the, you know, before and after, and then I'll get to reading another book. I think I'm going to read The House with Good Bones instead of The 10th Girl because it's shorter and I would love to finish 2 books in this vlog and readathon. So I think that's going to be what I'm going to do. So let's take a little intermission, do some book rearranging, and then I'll come back with updates on my next book. But oh, Alatsaway, just loved it so much. It's like a Brie
Perfect. Oh, can you go like slightly past? Yeah. 60.
What's that? 5 feet?
5 feet.
3 inches.
4 inches.
It's like just a Brie leg.
Just a Brie leg.
I wish you could see that. I think you're brave.
Those. Ouch.
If it all falls,
I'm helping.
if it all breaks, I'll still be here. We'll fix these mistakes. Wherever you're going, I'm going to. I'll follow you through the black and the blue. Whatever the mountain, we'll climb to the next. Honey, I'm with you through life and to death. Wherever you're going, I'm going to. I'll follow you through the black and the blue. Whatever the mountain, we'll climb to the next. Honey, I'm with you through life and to death. Honey, I'm with you through life and to death.
I'm starving. It is almost 2 p.m. and I haven't ate since 8 o'clock. I need food. Also, if you are a person who gets sandwiches from like Jimmy John's or Subway, do you or do you not put chips in your sandwich? Because I feel like that's the only way to eat it, is to put chips in. It gives it such a nice crunch and flavor. If you haven't tried it, I don't know, maybe give it a try. Because once I tried it, I could never go back. I've got a lot longer to go. I've listened to a little bit of The House of Good Bones because I had it from the library, but the headphones were making me sweat way too much, so I had to take them off. And I just haven't listened to it without the headphones. I don't know why. I don't really like listening to an audiobook if it's not on my headphones. So I haven't got any further, but I'm making a lot of progress on the bookshelves, and I'm happy I'm doing this because I really wanted to, and I don't think I'll be able to do it in a couple weeks because I got a lot of stuff coming up, so I really needed to do it now if I was going to do it. And it's already feeling a little better in here, just even though it's chaos, but just having books in a different order is just really dopamine for the brain. So I'm gonna try to finish today because it is Sunday, so I have to go back to work and I really don't want to do it tomorrow. So we'll see. But so far, not very much progress on the House of Good Bones. Hopefully more today. But you know what? I think I'm getting better about not feeling guilty if I don't read as much. So like even though this was a 24-hour readathon, I have other things I like to do, you know? So I feel less guilty now than I used to about not getting as much reading in or being able to update with a lot of books, because I see a lot of videos where people are reading like 5 or 6 books in a video, and I think that's wonderful. I love watching those videos, but that's just not the kind of reader I can be for getting content out. So I'm just getting better, like more okay with the fact that I'm not that way. And yeah, I hope that's okay with you, that I only probably will finish one book in this vlog, but I'm having a good time, and even if I'm not reading a lot. Plus, I got a 5 stars, so I feel like that's a win for the vlog anyway. So anyway, I'm gonna eat my Jimmy John's and then get back to this. So that's my update. Thank you for listening to my rant. I finished. It is done. Let me scoot you closer. Whew. Yeah, that, I think I started that at like 11, and it is 3:30 now, so that took me a while. I am so crooked. This is just going horribly. I don't know. You're just gonna have to stay this way because I can't fix it at the moment. But anyway, I wanted to update as well as just show off my pretty new shelves that I am 52 pages of the way through A House with the Good Bones, and I'm enjoying it. I don't think that's going to be for everyone in terms of horror. It's very cozy feeling while being like kind of weird. It's got the T. Kingfisher quirks that I love. What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, which was another horror novella, was a lot darker than this one is feeling at the moment. This one feels more of a bridge between her like fantasy stuff that has like humor in it versus her horror. I haven't read anything horror related except for What Moves the Dead, so everything else has been her fantasy stuff. So I'm enjoying this one personally. As someone who likes cozy things, I'm enjoying this. So what are we doing? We're following our main character. So we're following Sam, and she goes home to visit her mom because her brother was said mom's been kind of seeming off, and she hasn't gone home to visit in a while, but she's been furloughed, I believe. And so her project that she works on, which she works in like archaeology. She works in archaeology as someone who looks at the bugs. She named it, but I can't remember what that name is. And so she is waiting to hear when they could go, but it could be years before this exhibition happens. Exhibition? I can never say that word. And so she goes home to visit her mom and live with her mom for a little bit, and she is like, yeah, it is weird. And so I just got to part where she's called her brother, and she's kind of like, mom does seem off. There's a lot of like little things happening. So she lives in a southern town, and her mom, who was very liberal growing up, they would often visit her grandma, who was not at all when they would visit, and her mom would always be upset at things her grandma said and would teach them like why that wasn't okay. And now she's coming home and she's just noticing a lot of like Confederate things up, like there's a Confederate painting on the wall and stuff like that, which is very out of character for her mom. So they're kind of like, what is going on? And you've got a little inklings to maybe something in the house is off, but don't really know. So that's all I know. and I'm really excited to continue. I'm really enjoying it, and I love T. Kingfisher. I just don't feel like there's a T. Kingfisher book out there that I'm not going to enjoy. So yeah, so I'm 52%, no, I'm 52 pages into the book, and I'm going to continue. I'll let you know more thoughts later, but I don't know if I'll finish this today because I am tired, but I do want to get some reading in. And Kayla has sprints at 5 p.m., so I might read for a little bit before the sprints and then go to the sprints, which usually she sprints for like 2 hours, I want to say. So I could probably get through this and update you later. I just wanted to pop in to say I'm proud of me and I'm doing some reading. So, and to show you my books, my bookshelves. So yeah, I will check back in a little later when I have more progress to report.
Beneath the shadows of this quiet town, I see you there, your feathers on the ground. Your eyes are heavy with the weight of the world. What's in the life you never could unfurl? Even if you never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take flight.
Hello, I wanted to update my progress on The House with Good Bones because I'm 100 pages in, so I'm just under halfway. I think it's about 240 pages, so I'm hoping I can finish it tonight. The spookiness of it is ramping up. There's been a couple like different things that have happened during the night that are a little spooky, but overall I don't feel like this is the spookiest read though, but I gotta say I'm not a fan of the grandma. That's my little update. I'm enjoying it, and I will let you know when I finish how I felt about it, but so far, loving it. It's just T. Kingfisher and me, you know, she just gets me. So, loving it, and will continue in the reading sprints and hopefully finish tonight because that would be 2 books for the readathon. Hello, it's about a week later, and I am finally wrapping up the vlog. I did end up finishing The House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher on Sunday. It was just really late at night, so I think I stayed up till like 11 o'clock to read it, and I finished it. I will say, I don't think it ended up being quite a 5-star for me. Maybe I did give it a 5-star on Goodreads, but I think it's more of like a 4.5. I just love T. Kingfisher's writing and the funny little things she puts into her books, but I would say in terms of a horror book, it's not my favorite horror book, nor is it one that I would broadly recommend to people because I think that the coziness of it and the kind of slower nature of the book is not going to appeal to a lot of horror people. I think if you're a fantasy person and you want something that isn't very spooky but gives you some fun horror vibes, this is an easier one to get into. And if you're someone who doesn't like a lot of scariness in your books, then I would also say I would recommend this for people like that. But for people who read a lot of horror and are looking to be spooked and maybe aren't as enthused by like a cozy horror type of book, I wouldn't recommend this. I don't think it's going to be for a large range of audiences, but for me, I really liked it. I think if I'm looking at it from my favorite T. Kingfisher, it's not my favorite T. Kingfisher and it's not my favorite horror. So while I still really enjoyed it, I would say it's probably 4.5 stars from me. And yeah, so I finished that, and then I loved Way so much that I already bought myself a copy, so I can put this on my shelf, and I'm so happy about it because I loved it so much. I have thought about this book literally all week, so I know that it was a perfect 5-star book for me. So I had 2 wins in this little readathon, and I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun making it and participating in Kayla's membership readathon. I'm going to end the vlog here, and I will see you next time.